Hello and welcome to the Grounds Crew. My name is Alex.
Alex Sr., Bo.
Randy.
Randy is filling in for Paul today. We do appreciate him doing that on such short notice. I texted him. He said, "Give me 5 minutes," and I was like, "All right, sounds good." So, a lot has happened since our last video. First thing we're going to talk about is the Luka Doncic trade in the NBA. So I have it all up here on what each team got. It was a 3-team trade. It wasn't just the Lakers and the Mavericks. The Utah Jazz were involved as well. So the Lakers, obviously, they got Luka Doncic as well as Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, and $55,000 from the Utah Jazz. The Dallas Mavericks got Anthony Davis, Max Christie, a 2029 first round pick, and 55,000 from the Utah Jazz. And then the Utah Jazz got Jalen Hood Schifino and 2 second round picks. The Lakers won the trade. I mean, there's not much more to it than that.
Okay, all that stuff you just explained, it's basically Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. All the rest of it's
filler. Yeah, I
fluff.
agree with that. Yeah, no, it's
Fluff.
Luka for AD. And what were the Mavericks thinking? I mean, this trade on paper and just talking about it doesn't make sense to me.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, Anthony Davis is a great defender, and some of his stat lines for defense and rebounds and block shots and are out of this world because of the position he plays, and he is a great talent. He is not a franchise player, though.
No, he's too injury prone to be a franchise player.
Way too injury prone, and I mean, goodness, Doncic. I mean, you build a franchise around a guy like that at his age. You don't trade your franchise away, and that's what they just did.
Right.
Randy, and I know why. I have an idea why, because it's all over the internet anyway. But I mean, I was surprised when I saw the theory on like the second day, and then every where I looked, I said, "This is just looks like that's what they're doing. They're trying to tank the team so they can move it to Vegas."
They've shut down that theory.
Have they?
I
don't know. I'm not buying that theory shut down.
I'm not either.
I'll tell you what, that press conference was kind of disturbing to watch with that GM for Dallas and Jason Kidd.
Harrison.
Jason Kidd couldn't even say a word. You could tell the look on his face how disgusted he was. He's a former point guard, one of the best ever, and he knows they just traded their franchise away. And what are you going to say? What are you going to have a smile on your face over this? If this was an even that was a good indicator, because if this was really an even trade, Jason Kidd would have been sitting there with a smile on his face, all happy, and he was anything but happy.
You're right. You bingo on every spot there. A lot of internet chatter about what really happened. Guys got theories, but there was no more a telling face. I looked at Jason Kidd, and he was not a happy camper, and I can't blame him. Luka's a dynamite player. Now, do we know everything about Luka? Do we know if he really takes care of himself or parties too much or what? Who knows? I mean, the bottom line is he's shown that he can play this game. The 25-year-old for a 31-year-old. He brought him to the finals last year.
Yeah.
Kyrie wasn't happy. I heard him mention a few words about being surprised. Klay Thompson's probably not happy. But we're going to find out. Mark Cuban said he would have never traded the guy, but he don't own the team anymore. Is he even a minority owner of some sort?
I think he's still a minority owner. He's not a majority anymore. He's a minority owner. Yeah. So from what I've heard and just on the internet and whatnot, the Mavericks did not like how high in weight that Luka Doncic was getting and was concerned for injuries and whatnot. They even at one point gave him like an 11-day period to get his weight down. I guess he didn't because now he's in LA. But what doesn't make sense to me is if you're worried about someone who's not taking care of their body because of potential injuries, why trade for the most injury-prone guy in the league in Anthony Davis right now.
Right.
What makes sense about that?
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
AD comes in.
Going to get injured, so let's get someone that always does get injured.
Yeah, really. Unless there's more to Donic's injury, it's possible. I think LeBron calls the shots in LA. He did. I mean, he's the only one that could get his son to play on the team, and his son's not even going to last in the G League. And I like Bronny. I listened to him talk, and Bronny's a good kid. Actually, his other son's a good player. The one that just went off to college, he could become a real good player. We'll see. USC or something like that, or UCLA or one of the teams. I'm not sure exactly. LeBron wants to be a owner, they claim, and heard that little deal, the fusion of Vegas getting Dallas or Dallas going. I don't ever think that the Dallas
LeBron stays around.
Vegas. Yeah.
LeBron
Then I heard this.
might not be staying around.
Yeah, he might not. Well, that's exactly right.
He's got P. Diddy issues.
Oh boy.
I saw that. It's almost like we got the Epstein list. Now we got P. Diddy's list possibly, but he's kept his nose clean for the most part. I don't think LeBron. I think he has.
LeBron?
Well, from a standpoint of you don't see him unless he does it really because but it's like he has any family problems. He seems to be someone who's it just seems like I don't care for him, but I've always had a theory about LeBron, but
he's gotten very political lately. He's gotten very political over the last couple of years. And,
that's the NBA.
Turned a lot of fans off. And then there's that whole no party like a P. Diddy party thing. And
boy, is he eating his words right now.
On the internet. What's that?
Could be.
Boy, is he eating his words right now.
I know. And then, top that all off with, he took some time off this year for personal reasons, and we know it was the, pending P. Diddy trial. And
really?
All that, but
yeah. Did not know that.
I don't even want to go into that. But just throwing that out there that, that's an issue possibly with the Lakers coming up. But I heard someone say that by gaining Luka Doncic, he just added LeBron just added 2 more years to his career.
Absolutely.
He'll be able to take a little bit of a back seat while this guy kind of runs it, because he's well capable. We've seen he went to the finals this year. So that can take some of the pressure off LeBron and help him to perform. But I'm still sticking with this thing because it just makes sense, because nothing else makes sense in this trade.
No, it doesn't.
Owners who own they are building a stadium in Las Vegas, and these owners have a casino, and they want this team to move to Vegas. And, it's the only story that makes sense.
And that's the only thing that makes sense to me too. But they've said that's not happening, but I don't know how much I believe that.
Yeah. Well, of course they have to say that. They're not going to say, you know what, you guys figured this out. You're right. We traded our franchise away because we want to tank the team and get everybody mad at us so we can kind of scoot off and move a little bit easier without so much friction. They're not going to say that. Of course they're going to say, no, that's not what we're trying to do. We really believe in our team and this new acquisition of, bringing over Anthony Davis and what he's going to do for defense, because defense wins championships. And please, if you could have brought him over and added him as a piece to Luka Doncic, then maybe.
Yeah. You can't trade away Luka Doncic. That's ridiculous.
No.
Anyways,
there is one angle on Luka. Last thing I want to throw that out there. There's this super max contract that he was possibly going to get, and those are some astronomical numbers. And maybe the entourage there with Dallas, with the owners, they just were not going to want to pay that kind of money to a guy that they can't get a commitment from a standpoint of health. But I've never known Doncic I'm not an NBA follower. I've lost sight of the NBA probably for the last 3-4. Don't get me wrong. I'll go look who's winning the standings. I talked this to Alex. We talked about this. I keep abreast of the situation. But but I don't have a team to follow. I'm a New York guy, but I am not a Knicks fan. I don't care for watching the Knicks, even though they're dear to my heart. And I remember '73, and that's a long time ago. But I remember the Ewing years. He never delivered. But bottom line is, I started falling out from the Golden
Basket
State
short.
Warrior
One
years.
basket short.
Still didn't
Sorry.
happen though. I know it was, but I enjoyed, and just as totally off the nut. I enjoyed the Jeremy Lin deal.
Jeremy Lin was fun.
That was for me being here, but I've been here 40 years in Texas, but that was an absolute joy to listen and watch Jeremy Lin. It was spectacular.
Linsanity. Yep,
The Linsanity of it all. That was in every New York Post had him. How we derived from Luka to there, but still though, basketball doesn't. Pro basketball, Pops, does not do it for me anymore. College ball, we could sit and talk. I had a great day today, but we could sit and talk about that all we want. But I think the money might have also been an aspect there. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Yeah, Luka lost out on $100 million due to this trade. So
it's Supermax is some ridiculous kind of money, and you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, ridiculous kind of money. Anyways,
I don't know how the contract signings go. Like, does he have to take a Supermax deal in order to stay? Or can they just offer him what they can afford and he can accept it or decline it and go elsewhere?
Ooh, I see an angle there, Pop.
If they were going
to do under the table, if he doesn't sign with LA, does he make his way back? Could that no.
No, with what's been said, I think that Luka Doncic is now officially not going to be a Dallas Maverick ever again. Especially since they traded him a week after he closed on his house in Dallas.
Yeah. He's not happy about that.
I'm sure, but I've seen stranger things. I've seen this. I mean, yeah.
I used to think that all the time. Like when the Red Sox traded, they made some trade, I forget, and
John Lester.
Said, that was what was that? Yeah,
John.
Yeah, Lester. It was Lester. Good call,
John Lester. Yeah, and he's going to come right back. And all indications was that he was going to no.
The only guy that came back after getting shot, after getting the old pink slip from the Yankees, was the Missile. The Missile went to Chicago, got his ring, came back the next year to the Yankees. Like that wasn't planned.
That was 100% planned.
And who did the Yankees get in that Missile trade? Oh boy,
Gleyber Torres.
Yeah, and where is he now? He's gone.
And where is the Missile? Aroldis Chapman now?
Went to Detroit. And Chapman's with Pirates, I think.
He's with Boston.
That's right. Ooh.
Well, without Bregman.
Yes, we'll be getting to that. We'll be getting to that later. Don't get too ahead of ourselves. So,
all right, Luka. Luka, you were fun. You're probably going to win with LA. Oh, well.
Yeah. Luka and LeBron, I don't like that on the same team together. Anyways, the Super Bowl. The Chiefs did not three-peat. Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley on the Eagles blew out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
That was a disaster for Kansas City, and it was really actually fun. I don't want to say fun to watch, but that's not nice. But yeah, the Eagles handled themselves very well and made sure that team did not come back.
No.
That score, the final score, was clearly not indicative of what happened in the entire game. They ran up some points against the secondary team at the end of which are meaningless points. I mean, it was 40-6 in the fourth quarter before they scored meaningless points. 40-6. Goodness, wow.
Yeah, before it got to 40, I didn't count the Chiefs out. Especially because Tom Brady was in the booth. And we all know what he's done in the Super Bowl when it comes to comebacks. So I wasn't counting them out. But once it got to 40, I officially said it was over.
I do want to mention that President Trump was there and got quite the loud cheers when they showed him on the screen, and when Taylor Swift was shown on the screen, she got quite the amount of boos. So
Sure did.
Yeah. She's since the Chiefs lost, I think she's writing her breakup album for Travis Kelce.
no, oh no.
Um,
Wow.
but anyways,
Yeah, I saw a video where Travis Kelce, I think they said on Christmas Day.
Should I put this one on? Should I put this one on, I guess, Pops?
You need to take that off right now.
Pops, is this your team?
No, get that out of here.
Alex Senior, is this your team? No. Hey, it's the only team in New York that I have never, ever rooted for. Because back in the 70s, we had guys like Fran Tarkenton and Norm Snead, and the Giants were awful. Now, there's other words I would use, but they were awful. And what I gravitated to was this. This is my football team. But I've waited 30 years now, and I'm starting to think I might just get excited about this team right here. But going back to the Super Bowl, I am not a Philadelphia fan. I dislike the Eagles with a passion. I guess it's the fans, but I love Jalen Hurts, and I love Saquon Barkley. There's your MVP of the league. There's your MVP of everything, because when you run for 2,000 yards in a game today that nobody cares about the running back, ask the Cowboys, Rico Dowdle, get back Ezekiel. Anyhow, the Eagles, they put the hammer down and didn't give Mahomes even an inkling of opportunity to bring back the team, because it was 24-0 at the half. And then I think it ended up with a couple field goals they let them have, and then it was 27 or 30, or something like that. It was, once it got to 34-0 after the INT, I think, or whatever, it was over. That was done. I didn't watch. I actually watched very little. I was off at another engagement, and I did see the initial flag that was thrown on the face mask on the Philadelphia wide receiver that kind of pushed the face mask away and got on that first pass. And I didn't think he had to do that. He would have caught the ball anyhow. He did catch it, but he got turned back. And that was probably the only good thing that happened to the Kansas City Chiefs that game. But
yeah, the announcers were like, "Oh no, here we go," without saying that. They didn't like the call.
Brady said it.
It was the right call.
He said, I didn't like that one.
Oh,
he
come
said
on,
it a couple times.
Tom forgets how many times he got that call.
Yeah, he went on to talk about how he's used to yelling at the refs in those situations and not being up in the booth.
Yeah,
Tom. You really can't. You can't knock him, because he brought a lot of thrills. I think his statement was his Tampa Bay victory really, I think, solidified him as the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I think he wanted to win without Bill behind him. Which, I was rooting for him because, I can't not root for him after rooting for him my entire life. But I really wish he would have been in a Pats uniform to end his career. I wish he would have went all the way through in New England. But topic for another time.
We should have been in this uniform.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah. But anyhow, that football game, like I said,
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
How
many, the defense on the Eagles, man, they were all over Mahomes. What did they have, 5 sacks, 6 sacks? Something like, I don't know what the final number is, but man, he got sacked a lot.
Didn't let him breathe.
Yeah, and I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but there was someone in the audience that got their video taken, which they didn't know someone was videotaping them, but they had a Mahomes voodoo doll that they were messing with. So who knows? They were in New Orleans. That's all I'm going to say about that.
No, it was history. I wish I could have watched it all, but I had to be somewhere, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it was history, because I listened to all the prognosticators afterwards saying that this is it for Kansas City. They'll never get back, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, okay, guys, who's going to beat them in the AFC? They're going to be in the AFC Championship again, and they're going to probably win the thing again, and they'll be back next year. They'll be right there. I mean, it's just one game. It's the Super Bowl. It would have been nice to see 3 in a row, but that Mahomes has been in 7 consecutive AFC Championship games. He's been to how many Super Bowls? And it's like Tom Brady never did that. It took Tom Brady 10 seasons to get into 7 or to get to 5 or whatever. I mean, it's like it took him. He's done. He hasn't even entertained hardly any losing at all. Mahomes.
Yeah.
No one would have called that out when he came into the league, just like no one called Tom Brady when he came into the league.
Well,
Tom
Brady was also a 6th round pick.
Yeah, Brady was a 6th
Michigan,
round pick
and a 6th round, and all he can do is he can thank Drew Bledsoe for getting a concussion, because that's how he got into the game.
Literally, and you know something happened to that guy. It happened to Drew twice in his career, because he took a concussion with the Cowboys, and guess who came in? Bill said I had to do it. Bill did it again and popped out Drew, and in came Tony Romo and never relinquished again. So it happened twice to poor Drew. Took concussional hits both times, and boom, he loses his job twice. And I like Drew Bledsoe. But going back to the Eagles, and I want to close on that. They're a dangerous football team. If the NFC East is going to be dominated if Jalen stays healthy and Barkley continues to run. They got a young team on deep. They're going to be dangerous for years to come. That's just that whole thing. And he was there 2 years ago, and they just got ousted last year. And then this year they go and they put the whole package together. I don't see the Cowboys catching them. I don't see the Giants catching them. The Commanders. Everybody's excited about the Commanders, but that was a 4-13 schedule that they played, and we'll see next year when they go play a tougher schedule. See what they do. Don't get me wrong. I like Quinny. I like Jaden Daniels. I'm not a Skins fan, but Commanders. Whoa.
Yeah, I think they're serious when they change their name back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Commanders.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
That's it.
Washington Redskins. Change your name back. Anyways, our next topic.
They kiboshed it. You know that.
I'm excited about this next topic, even though it'll be brief.
It'll be brief, but USA versus Canada hockey. Let me just make a statement right now. Wait. Let me just say, okay, you don't boo our national anthem, okay? We have real patriots out there on the ice, all right? And they will come for you, and they will kick your butt. Sorry. No. So the.
By the way.
So.
By the way.
The United States national anthem gets booed, and there are 3 fights immediately in the game in 9 seconds. What do you guys think about it?
All 3 fights won by U.S. guys too, by the way, taking them down.
This little series has not excited me. This little 4-game series. These 4 teams. These 4 players from 4. I tried to understand it and try to figure why. I just want to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs and watch it all happen, because it becomes real exciting when you get to Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, I'm assuming they were trying to. I'm assuming the NHL was trying to do like a World Baseball Classic type of thing, because otherwise, I don't really know. But don't boo our national anthem. Don't boo our national anthem.
It was. I heard about.
Besides, I don't know. Look. I get it that it was a little rough there for about a week with the tariffs being threatened and all that, but they ironed it out. It's over. They got, Trump just wanted to get them on board with trying to stop illegal immigration and drugs coming across our border. For the amount of money we spend to help them, that's all he wanted. And they agreed. It's over. What are you booing us for?
To be expected.
Oh, Canadians.
The Canucks. What are you going to do with the Canucks? I mean, we support them financially. Boss man asked in a conference here about a month ago or so when he spoke to Trudeau. He said, "What happens if we?" I heard him say, "He goes, what happens if we pull the plug on support on what we send you?" And basically, Trudeau kind of gave him this deer in a headlight stare, and basically said to Trump, "We don't exist anymore." So, with all that being said, bring on the 51st state. It's happening. I don't know. One whole thing, 51 states. I wouldn't mind seeing like bringing on 5 more states. That would fit right into the other side. Those are 2, 4. Oh my goodness gracious! That many more senators. That many more. Can of worms. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's. So that was the Grounds Crew Politics edition.
Yeah. Here we go.
And
There we go.
USA beat Canada 3-1 in that hockey game. So
Yeah, after they beat them in 3 fights, they beat them 3-1 on in the game too.
3 fights. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In their territory.
Don't boo our national anthem. Anyways, on to baseball.
Yes.
Ooh.
The last of the dominoes have fallen. The last major free agents have signed. There's still rumors for a couple of guys to be traded. There's still rumors for Luis Robert and Nolan Arenado to be traded, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. That is more likely, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen closer to the deadline at this point. So, players that have signed since our last update. Ha-Sung Kim has signed with the Rays on a 2-year, $29 million deal. Opt out after first season. Whenever the Rays make a move, it scares me because they know how to run a baseball team. Like last year was a fluke, they did not do well last season. But besides
Injuries.
injuries, exactly. They've been in the running.
Losing your franchise 5-tool player too.
Oh, that's true. 17 and under. But anyway, whoa. So, looks like Ha-Sung Kim is the replacement for Mr. 17 and under. Yeah, whenever the Rays make a signing, it scares me because they know what they're doing analytically and it works.
Yeah.
And historically it's worked. Besides when they pulled Blake Snell in the World Series, they've done everything else right. Let's see. Alrighty. The next signing is Max Scherzer to Toronto, 1 year, $15 million. What do you guys think about this?
I like it, but I don't like it. Glad to see him go somewhere, but
why there?
Yeah.
Why there?
I guess they will.
Probably. I'm assuming that they had the highest offer. That's what I'm assuming.
I mean, for them, I think it's a great move because they can catch lightning in a bottle with that, and he may have a great rebound year. He certainly has the tools, and coming off those injuries, this might be the year that he's healthy.
Yeah.
It's worth it for them to take that shot. And then for Max to only be tied down for 1 year up in Toronto, if he has a great year, he's open to free agency again and could sign for even more money. So I think it's good for both the team and for Max. I would have liked to see them stay down here, but that's okay. I think it's a good move for him.
The Blue Jays are trying to do everything they can to build a team right now because if they do not build a team, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is leaving in free agency.
That's right.
And there's a lot of rumors around him.
No matter what.
And if he goes, others are going to go.
Gone.
You think so? You think Vladdy's already gone?
I think what I suspect, and Scherzer leaving Texas, going back to Matt, because that's a good pickup for Toronto.
It is.
If he's healthy.
Right.
I think the Rangers know more about his health than Toronto probably does. And, I think he just doesn't have the gas anymore. And we'll see. I could be wrong. 1 year contract gives him an opportunity to see that if he's still got anything, his arm is not dead. We'll find out. But going back to Vlade, he won his last arbitration case. They're not going to arbitrate anymore. And now he's going to be full blown, but he won't even last half the season. I think Toronto's going to be probably in the tank somewhere around trading deadline, and he's going to be a package deal to somebody. And
do you think him and Bo Bichette will be in that deal?
No, they'll go separately, I think.
You think
think they'll keep Bo. I think Bo is somebody they'll keep, but I think I think the Yankees are going to make a trade for him, especially if Goldie doesn't work out at first base.
Oh, I think Goldie's going to be great.
And everyone thinks there's no way Vlad would come to New York, and he said, "I'll never play for them." He said he'll never play for them if they just bring him in for half the season, like they did with not so much half the season, but some similar, but on a full season aspect with the way they did with Soto. He comes in and gets him in a trade, and boom, he's the kind of bat. And then all of a sudden, he does a couple of great things, and Yankee players, the Yankee team, the Yankee fans love him, and suddenly he's all good. But I'm theorizing on that deal.
Yeah.
But Toronto's doing everything they can to stay alive in that division.
Yeah.
Because I think the Red Sox are going to be competitive if they get some good pitching and some of their other ball players, like Mr. Casas comes to play this year. The Red Sox could be dangerous. Bregman is not a bad player. He's not a lousy player. That guy can play.
I'm very excited about Boston baseball. I'm very excited about Boston baseball this season.
I wanted to fix the third base problem for the next 5 years with him, but they didn't get him. I don't know why.
They did not.
Maybe because he was an Astro.
Oh boy!
I don't.
Not the Astro talk again. But like you were saying, you don't know if Scherzer has it anymore. And one thing we've kind of been constantly going back to in our little podcast is these older pitchers, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, they need to move to the bullpen to make their career last longer. I think these would be great in the bullpen just because you're at your end of your career. I mean, you're dealing with injuries. I think it makes sense to move to the bullpen, but that's just
Schmaltzy type. Yeah, Schmaltzy type. You're right. You're on target with that.
Well, you disagree.
I disagree. That's no. You can't go this long in your career. I mean, very few people can do this. Go this long in your career.
Agreed.
To be the guy that controls the game from the beginning, and now you're just a setup role.
Make them the closers.
Making him a closer might be the only possibility. Because you're either a starter or a closer. You're not going to be anything in between.
So just imagine with me for a second here. You're down 3 runs. You're coming up bottom of the 9th, and you have to face a fresh Max Scherzer, a guy who.
Bingo.
That's
not many starters. Not many starters do it. Alex.
No,
not many. I mean, you can count them on your hand. I mean, John Schmaltzy was one, right? He was starting, went to the bullpen, and then after that, you helped me. I can't think of any other guys that were dominant pitchers as starters, and then moved to the bullpen. I mean, that's a different ball game, different altogether. Scherzer, no one else wanted him. The Blue Jays grabbed him. Really, $15 million for him. He was making how much with the year before with the Mets? He was making ungodly money at that time. I think starters come to a point where they just can't pitch anymore, and then that's it. I mean, it's the arm's not there anymore, and Rangers knew it. For a year.
Along those lines, here's the thing with transitioning to such a thing. So you're talking about a guy that spent his whole career as a starter. As a starter, your regiment, you have your off days, your days that you get your workouts in, your pitching workouts, and then your game day pitching. So you do all that. And now, late in your career, when you're injury prone like he is, I mean, he's had the Tommy John, he's had the injuries. Now you're going to ask him to be, like, if you were to say to him, let's try you as a closer, he's going to appear in 2 to 3 times the amount of games. He's going to be warming up on short notice. This is a completely different workout, a completely different structure than what his arm has been used to his whole career. And now you're way more susceptible to getting injured again and being done for the rest of your career.
But throwing a lot less.
Like him to come 2 or 3 days a week, in a row. You can't do that.
But you are throwing a lot less in those days. So, but that is a good point because I know I haven't had interactions with Max, and he actually is a very, what's the word? Regiment detailed, like, very heavily player. Like, he has what he does, and he does it to a T to the minute. And I'm not joking about that. There was one time I was in the Nationals dugout, and he's like just starting, he's not just starting, but he came out like way before game time, asked me what time it was, and he went off to do whatever his next thing was. He is a very detail-oriented person, and that could be why it doesn't happen. But maybe someone like Verlander, like I don't know if he is like that or not, but Verlander had a really rough year last year. Really, really rough year last year. And he's arrived in San Francisco's spring training. He's got more gray hairs. I don't know.
What was his contract? Do you know?
I could pull it up quickly.
Yeah.
Where is it? So
Verlander
Scherzer was 1 year 15.
15, right?
And where Verlander 1 year 15.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is interesting. They both got the same thing.
And both are well into their 40s, right? 42, 43, 44 maybe, or no?
Let me see. I know Verlander is, and
right. I think Scherzer's in his 40s too. Might be even older.
He's exactly 40. 40 on the dot.
Okay.
Just turned 40.
They're gamers. Both those guys are gamers.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of. It's the Mets. They had them both at one time, and I was excited about that. But that season didn't materialize like it should. But it is what it is.
No.
But I don't dislike Matt Scherzer. I like him. I even like Verlander. He even was with the Astros those years. It was tough to see, but he was a gamer. They both if they have starting roles and they become their second or third pitcher, or maybe the ace of the staff. Who knows? I don't know. I can't even tell you who the ace of the staff of Toronto is. So he might be the big name. And then out in Giant Land, who's out in Giant Land that might not be the They could have
Logan Webb. I think is their ace.
Yeah, they could have great years, right? They could have great years and be on target for some big 2-3 year contract. And both are going to go out there and prove something. And like you said, Alex Senior, those starters, most never want to go to the bullpen. That's what they've done. It's a regimen they've done all their lives, and to learn how to be on spot, ready to go at any moment that's got to be crazy. And then as a starter, you're going to go in, you're going to give your 7 innings. You're not going to get any more than 7 innings because they just 100 pitches and down, which is ridiculous, but that's the way it is today. And then you go and you get your 5 days off and come do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again. That's right. Do it again.
Yeah. So Scherzer to Toronto. This next one. We got a good amount to still go through. Jack Flaherty back to the Tigers. So the Tigers traded Flaherty at the deadline to LA, where Flaherty went on to win the World Series with them. And then he signed back with Detroit. 2 years, 35.
It did happen. So it actually did happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just talked about that.
We did just talk about that. 2 years, $35 million player option after the first year. My question is, how is this man not getting paid more? He had a phenomenal year last year. He pitched 162 innings with a 3.17 ERA.
That was lights out in the playoffs.
Lights out in the playoffs. I know he's struggled in years past and hasn't had great numbers. So maybe that's the only reason why I could think teams weren't wanting to give him the kind of contract that a 3.17 ERA kind of comes with. So
I thought he was worth signing more long term, but
I thought the Dodgers were about to lock him up for 6 years and how many million?
Yeah.
With deferred money. Deferred.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm going to put that salary on my credit card.
Shit, really?
Because I have $30,000 in credit card debt. All right. So.
He is 29 years old.
He is 29. And
29. Has he ever had any surgery? I looked and see, but I don't see him having any. That looks like he might. I just wanted to know that, but it's an interesting move. Pitching is hard to come by, and it wasn't like he had a garbage season, 13-7. His ERA was.
Just won a World Series.
Forget what I'm just talking regular. I mean, the World Series he had a good, obviously, but 3.18, 3.18. That's not a. I mean, today anything in the threes, you're considered good as an ERA. But I don't know. That's strange. It's strange to me, unless the Dodgers know something, and or who knows. The Dodgers do strange things.
Well,
That's
I'm
another story
assuming
there.
they didn't re-sign him because they had a pretty good feeling they were getting Roki Sasaki, and then they did. So,
And they did right.
so I'm looking
That's
at
good.
his injuries. I don't know if there were any surgeries per se, but I'm seeing this dates all the way back to 2021. Oblique, shoulder, hand, hip, general soreness, and then last year he had a back thing. But I don't know if any surgeries.
Yeah, that kept him from a big deal. Let's see what he does with the Tigers. If
Uh,
the Tigers struggle, they'll probably trade him again.
Yeah, he's had several injuries along the way, but you're right. I mean, unless he's got family or he liked to trade so much, that's an interesting deal where you get shipped off and you go back to the team that you were shipped from. Interesting.
yeah, yeah. He liked it in Detroit, I guess. But which is weird, is because I think he is from the
He's a
California area.
Burbank, California boy.
Yeah.
I saw it.
So
Like, whoa, that didn't make in Burbank. That's he had to have grown up a Dodger.
yeah, I think he was. I'm not sure,
What do you
but
what do you
I'm
think,
assuming
Bo?
so.
What does Bo think about the
Yeah.
Dodgers?
What does
That
Bo
guy?
think?
Yeah, what does Bo think?
Oh, what do you think?
Bo knows.
No.
Yeah. He just threw up in his mouth. He doesn't like the deal.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Alrighty, so Flaherty to the Tigers.
Flaherty.
The next on our list is Pete Alonso. After all the talk from Cohen, all the talk from Pete's camp,
My Mets
he
cap.
made a deal. 2 years, $54 million.
My Mets cap. Where is it? I love Polar Bear.
The lineup
He doesn't.
definitely looked different with the possibility of him not in it. I think the Mets needed to get him back after signing Alonso because that lineup had a hole, had a big polar bear hole, and he filled it.
Protection.
Peter Alonso.
Yep.
Oh yeah, protection for Juan Soto. Alonso, even last year, he wasn't. I don't think you can say he's really the face of the team, especially after the season Lindor had. But yeah, he's now like third tier on like third string of best players, best fielders on the Mets. But with Soto in that lineup, do you think Pete has a better year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mark Vientos is going to have a better year. Lindor is going to have a better year. The overhyped Brandon Nimmo is going to have a better year. There is so much excitement on the Mets team this year. If they get a little bit of pitching, 50% pitching, because if they don't get the pitching, they'll be playing from behind all the time. But if they get 50% pitching, they'll win the NL East, and they'll win the NL. That's my prediction. They're dangerous. Soto can play baseball, and he brought a flair to the Yankees that the Yankees needed to have back in 2017. They would have beaten the Astros. Soto's a heck of a player. Soto's a heck of a player.
Sorry, the trash can just came in. They still 1-1. But anyways, yeah, is the NL East going to be the most interesting division this year?
It depends.
Depends on what.
You can't always buy a great team. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Right.
And I would just like to remind you that Soto was a part of this all-star studded lineup in San Diego, and that didn't work at all.
No, you're right.
Chemistry was bad, and the team did bad. So hopefully, I mean, the hope is that these guys gel well together and the pitching comes together and they play well, but it's not a guarantee.
Well,
I do like the Pete Alonso move. I think it's excellent move for them and solidifies that lineup a bit. So it'll be interesting to see. He will see better pitches because they're not going to pitch to Soto. So it should make everybody should do better with Soto there. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. On paper, it looks phenomenal, but we'll see how it plays out.
Here's what I want to ask. I mean, who do you guys just prediction? Who's winning the NL East right now? Is it going to be the Mets? Is it going to be the Braves? Or is it going to be the Phillies?
Philly's got the pitching and hitting. Braves
Phillies
are going to
will be
have
there.
Acuna back. Yeah.
If he's healthy.
I don't know.
Yeah, if he's healthy.
Who are you guys saying?
His injury seems to be more serious.
Yeah.
What's that, Alex?
Whose injury?
Acuna.
Acuna.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going to
should
be.
back.
Yeah, if he's back and he's healthy, the Braves could be good. They should be. So it's going to be. I think the race is going to be really good. I mean, you really have to just say, wow, the Mets just injected himself with a player that probably every team wanted but couldn't afford.
Right.
And here he goes. He goes to New York. I mean, that was some of the prediction that was going to happen, that he was going to go to the Mets, and the Mets were, well, I have my theories what happened, but I'll leave it at that. He's no longer a Yankee, and it could come a time where he'll wish he might have stayed a Yankee, because he ain't going to no Monument now. He ain't going to Monument Park now.
Oh,
and he would have gone to Monument Park.
Oh yeah, he would have. He would have been at Monument Park.
And that's the saddest part that I just can't understand. But who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Alrighty. So, a couple that I'm just gonna kind of fly by here. Kenley Jansen to the Angels, 1 year, $10 million deal. That helps their bullpen. He's probably going to be the closer for them. The Angels have been really active this offseason. That's surprising. Same with the A's. Clayton Kershaw re-signs with the Dodgers again.
No surprise.
There were Ranger rumors a couple years ago, because I believe he's from Texas, but he is a Dodger. Nick Pivetta, decent arm for the Red Sox over the last couple of years. 4 years, $55 million to the Padres. I was sad to see that. I like Nick Pivetta.
It's good.
Good move to go to the NL. He'll get a nice fresh start there. They don't know his arm. I always think when pitchers move to different leagues, they have an ability to really get ahead of the curve. And
it's a little different than it used to be, because now every team is at least playing each other once. But
right. You're right. That's right. But
there is still some of that, though. Yeah, for sure.
Right. The majority of his play is going to be in the NL. So, Padres are an interesting team. They've had their opportunity. I think they have a guy on their team that I think causes issues, and that's it. The guy the Yankees
I still blame the guy you're talking about.
Yeah.
For ruining Pedroia's career. So,
right.
I still blame him and hold him accountable for that. In the upcoming MLB The Show, I am likely to hit him with a couple of pitches. Not gonna lie. But anyways,
you take your frustration out on a video game.
Of course. I can't do anything in the real world. But I can boo him, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
those three deals that you just talked about, they don't do anything. I mean, they don't get me going. I mean, I don't know what the Angels are thinking, but he is an arm. But I think Jansen is basically done. I mean, I don't think he had. I mean,
he's still an above average bullpen arm.
Maybe,
but,
yeah.
I like this last one though.
Yeah.
Alex Bregman to the Red Sox.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Alex Bregman, the second baseman to Boston.
I was wishing I wanted the Yankees to get him.
Well, we can all rejoice he is not a Yankee. Okay, 3 years, $120 million with opt-outs after each season. $40 million a year. I think they overpaid him, but it is still an improvement to the lineup, so I'm happy.
Absolutely.
I did see a stat where his stats in Fenway are really good. So he likes the park. It makes me more excited to watch Red Sox baseball this year, which I will be watching a ton of.
I think he could, for him, I think clearing his head, he plays now without having to worry about, I don't know. I think he leaves behind baggage. That's what I'm trying to say in 17.
I agree.
He doesn't.
Start over.
He doesn't, though. Cora was a part of it, and he's the manager. He doesn't leave that behind. That's still with him. But It is a new city, new ballpark. Yeah. I will say that. But
I say they start up a whole new thing.
You see the projected lineup for the Red Sox?
It's exciting. It's very exciting. I will pull it up right now.
They got him slotted in the second spot, and they've got. I mean, Trevor Story's a good player. Yoshida can play baseball. You got to have a big season from. He's got to come out of it. Tristan Casas.
He does.
Comes out. That's a beautiful swing that guy's got. And Duran is a stud. Starting off the line, he's a stud. This team is. If this team comes through, I mean, there's no. And then I look at the pitching, though. Well, if Garrett shows up and plays real good, then they're going to. If they get the Garrett we have, the Yankees have, they're going to be good.
If the Red Sox get postseason Walker Buehler, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting. Woo! My juices are flowing. If you can't tell. So,
Senior, Senior, I think you'll agree with me. A Red Sox Yankee good teams always make baseball really good.
Yes, definitely agree.
I miss it when the Red Sox ain't playing well.
And I like the way Alex Bregman plays, the way he handles himself, and
beautiful swing. Beautiful swing.
I did think it was a lot of money, but why not? You know what? They had to do something. The good free agents that were out there are dried up. There was none left. You have to overpay a little bit to get him. So, and that's fine. I think he'll be worth the money. And I like it. I think it's a good move. And I think as far as hooking up with that same coach again, manager, I think got to get a little more sophisticated instead of banging on trash cans. Let's put earpieces in underneath all the ball caps.
Well,
it's history, though, Alex. That's all history, but it's all part of the game. I don't care. The Yankees, whereas their Astros just did it better than the Yankees, and that's and it runs with you. But you know something? I think it's now almost 10 years. It's over. It's basically over.
It's they won again. It's over.
Bregman's a winner. And that's why I wanted him with the Yankees. I wanted him at third base. He would have, him and Judge. Never mind. End of conversation.
So, I have their projected lineup from Fangraphs on my screen right now.
Yeah.
A lot of lefties. They're probably going to have to address that at some point this season. And that's probably why they got Bregman. Because right now their lineup is Jarren Duran, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, Tristan Casas, Masataka Yoshida, Trevor Story, Weiler Abreu, Connor Wong, and Cedane Rafaela. That's a good lineup, number one. I really like that lineup. I'm just scared with the amount of lefties. That's my concern. If we go up against the lefty, I know they'll put Ref Schneider in there for one of the lefties, but that's still 2, 3, 4. That's 5 lefties. Even with putting Ref Schneider in there, that makes it 4. But I don't know. That's a lot of lefties. But I'm excited. I'm still excited.
Yeah. RotoChamp has a Duran, Bregman, Devers, Casas, Story, Yoshida, Abreu, and then Wong and Rafaela. I like that lineup. Lefty, righty, lefty, lefty. Trevor Story's a righty. Yoshida lefty or righty? I don't know.
Lefty.
And then Weiler's a lefty, right? Yep. So, well, and is Rafaela a righty? If I remember seeing him swing.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a righty.
That kid could have it. The Red Sox, they get some blowout seasons from a couple of these guys here, and Bregman brings in that leadership. That's not a bad baseball team. I don't care what anybody says. I got to sit there and look at it and say that's not a bad team.
Yes, I want to pull up something because so I'm getting more excited right now. So Alex Bregman, I just found his stats in Fenway Park.
Yeah,
they're pretty crazy.
And if he hits like this all year, he will be getting more than $40 million next year. He'll opt out and get more than 40 from the Red Sox. So his stat line is 375 batting average with a 490 on base percentage,
Oh my goodness.
750 slug, which brings it to a 1240 OPS.
Wow.
Dangerous.
So
He liked that.
uh,
He liked that. Monster.
he loves the monster. So I'm on NBCSportsBoston.com.
Yeah.
They did a ranking all time of hitters in Fenway with a minimum of 75 plate appearances. Who wants to guess what his OPS is on that ranking?
Top of the list.
1270?
Huh?
I mean, like first, second, third.
Yeah, like that type of thing. Like how far do you think he is on the list?
Top of the
First.
list.
Yeah, he's first.
He's top of the list.
Yeah.
So his best hitting is at Fenway. That makes sense why they signed him.
If he does that, that's worth more than $40 million a year.
Yeah.
Of course.
Even if he does, look, no one's expecting him to hit 375.
No.
But hit over 300 and have an OPS of 900 plus 1,000, and yeah, you will have more than earned your keep.
I'd be happy with the 800 OPS for Bregman this year. I'd be very happy with that.
How many games does this show that he had on that being number one? How many games did he play over the last?
Bregman has 98 plate appearances with 21 games at Fenway.
He's going to play 80 more games this year.
He's going to play 60 more games in Fenway.
Right. So 80 total. He could have a monster year, and he's hitting. If they put him, I think if they put him in front of Devers. Ooh, he's going to get some pitches to hit. You know how that works. You can say that with just about anywhere. But you have him on the other projected lineup as third, and keeping Devers in the second spot. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm so excited. I'll probably even turn on some spring training games in the background from a time or two, just to see Bregman in that Boston uniform and see how the other guys are doing in spring. Excited for the year to come. Very excited for the year to come. That is about all I had. Any other thoughts about anything sports related? Anything?
I don't understand McDonald's. We're not sponsored by McDonald's, by the way. Putting Angel Reese on their cup. They're doing an Angel Reese thing. She's the girl that flagrantly fouled
right here,
Caitlin Clark, and laughed about it. So I don't really see the celebration thing going on here. But
she got a nice contract, Caitlin Clark, when she came in as a rookie. But you wouldn't hear anything about the WNBA if it wasn't for Caitlin. And she's
That's
a good girl. And I'm glad. I mean, wait till next year when Paige Buchers comes and joins, and she outdoes the contract with Paige is going to do it. It's going to be something. I mean, I've watched a little bit. I was kind of enthralled watching the Liberty play this year and winning finally with Brianna. I watched her for 4 years just dominate college basketball with UConn, winning four consecutive championships. And they still have culture problems in the WNBA, and there's a lot of reasons why. But it is what it is. I mean, there isn't any problems with any sports. They're all got problems. They all got their issues. So I'm kind of happy for the ladies. I mean, there's some good ball players.
I'm looking forward to see what happens this year with Caitlin Clark. See how that plays out. All right. Anything else?
Before I forget, I did hear part of Bregman's contract is deferred. Part of Bregman's contract is deferred.
Whoa.
So it's not just the Dodgers doing it. The Dodgers are overly doing it, but it's not just the Dodgers doing it.
So we're Bobby Bonian players now.
That's the league we're in. It's the league we're in.
But you got to get the ball player to want to do that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really
with endorsements and everything else that you got. I mean, it's easy to it's not hard to live on a couple $1 million a year and then defer the rest of it till later on in your life. But yeah, do you want to do that, or you got the possibility that the team goes bankrupt and doesn't pay you? That's the tough part,
right?
But I think they might have safeguards in there where the money's there, it's stored somewhere. That's what I would demand, But anyway, I don't know. Who knows? I don't
Right.
know about these
Yeah.
contracts. But
one thing I heard with the Dodgers actually recently was I think they have like their ownership group has like a bunch of hedge funds, I believe it was. So what they're doing is they're taking the deferred money, investing it straight into those, making more money off of the deferred money, and then they're going to make the deferred payments and get more money in the process.
Bobby Bonilla money. Yep.
So
Bobby did it. Yep.
The only problem is that the Dodgers payroll on deferment is starting to reach levels of the national deficit.
Oh boy.
There's not a cap there's not a cap in baseball, right? Or is there a cap? There's a luxury tax.
Luxury tax,
no
that's
cap,
it.
But there's a luxury tax. So
yes.
And once there's a cap, obviously that things are going to change if they ever go there, but they probably won't. So I
want there to be one because I want every team every year to have a chance.
Bingo.
I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, every team does. They just don't want to spend the money. It's not exactly like that.
But if there's a cap and you must attain the cap at least, that's also going to force some of these. It might force some teams to. I mean, it's not like they're not. There's not a major revenue stream in 162 games a year. I mean, obviously, 80 half of them are at home, but you're sharing revenues all wherever you go.
That's why the A's made the moves they did this offseason, because in order for them to get the revenue sharing, they have to spend a certain amount of dollars from the revenue sharing. Right. That's why the A's decided to make moves.
Are they going to Vegas?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're going to Vegas.
There's spend now because their revenue stream is going to go absolutely through the roof when they go to Vegas. And now that gambling is thoroughly legal in every single sport, Vegas is going to has a team in everything. I mean, they've been wanting one for years, and they weren't going to give it to them, but now it's all part of the whole.
They've got two already. They've got the Raiders, and they've got the hockey team,
the Knights. Yep.
Soon to be Las Vegas A's, playing in a minor league ballpark. Playing in a minor league ballpark in Sacramento this year.
Crazy. That's. What do you think of that, Senior? That's just mind-boggling to play in a minor league ballpark.
It's so strange.
It's strange.
Yeah.
And two teams are playing in minor league parks this year.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Elaborate. Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa
they had
have a stadium.
They had to.
Correct in the hurricane.
Right.
Yeah.
Hurricane. I hope the A's keep their name, Alex. I hope the A's keep their name. And the Raiders. Yeah. I'd like to see the Raiders keep their name too, but
the Raiders, they're the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Raiders stay in Oakland. I think that should be the deal all around. I think those histories, the Raiders have huge history in Oakland.
So do the Athletics.
Oh, I know. The A's. Oh, those 3 years. Alex Senior, remember those 3 years?
Oh yeah.
Those are they were yesterday. Right. I can name you the starting lineups for every one of those teams. And they had one guy that was my favorite, Reggie. That was
to go back to the stadiums real quick.
Go ahead.
I really thought Tampa should have moved to Oakland for this one season. Like I've said this in an earlier podcast, and let me explain.
I like that. I like that idea. We spoke about that. I like that idea.
Yes, because Oakland fans hated John Fisher, their owner. So they were boycotting the home games. But if Tampa would have moved to Oakland just for the season while their stadium's getting repaired or whatnot,
oh my.
They would have sold the place out just to give it to John Fisher of the A's.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
It would have been fun.
Oh, I would have loved to see it.
Logistic-wise, for Tampa to go to Oakland would have been tough, but it would have been it would have sure been a tough deal.
But they would have gotten more fans in the seats than they're getting in Tampa.
Yep.
Just to give it to the A's. That's literally what they would have done. Alrighty. We have gone way too long. Randy, thank you for filling in. Please comment, and subscribe. Of course. he will be joining us again soon for our baseball fantasy league that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a live draft for that. Randy will be joining us again for that. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We are on social media, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.
Peace out. Later.